Weekend edition. We post this on a Saturday morning, but some of you may catch it on Sunday. We'll take good care of you either way. Let's dive in so we can plan out the weekend and get a look at the week coming up together. All right, first and foremost, timing of the showers going to be key here these next couple of days. Chilly air on most days, although Sunday is going to be milder than the rest. It is more unsettled weather that's coming up for this week. So we'll dive in first of all with temperatures in the next 14 days. See what I mean? Yeah, this is colder than normal temperatures on a number of these days. Sunday's the one spike you see, and then look at the high temperature by Tuesday, barely making it past 40 as a New England average. We do climb to the 50s by the end of this upcoming weekend and next weekend, and then if you want to try and get above normal on temperature, probably going to have to wait till next week to do it. Now, as you might figure, with cool air in place, there may be a little bit of snow or wintry mix to deal with. Let's take a look together. The overall pattern, I'll zoom this map in a second, shows a warm front coming at us during the day Saturday. We're on the cold side of it. That's why it's a raw day. There's that little shot of warmth that tries to get in here on Sunday. Even as a cold front comes through, it's at least enough warmth left over we can squeeze into the 50s. Most of the showers Sunday are going to be found in southern New England, not central or northern New England. But the next disturbance that comes in, there's just enough colder air Sunday night and a Monday morning that we get some wet snow. Northern New England, there may be a light accumulation. Shouldn't be a big deal. Central New England, it's snow, but it doesn't stick all that much. In southern New England, probably going to end up being raindrops mixed with wet snowflakes. But look at this. That's the case all the way through midday on Monday. I mean, this is some cool kind of raw air that's around the first couple of days this week. Look, as we get the showers this weekend, track it with the radar. I always recommend past plus future mode on our 1 degree outside weather app, totally free on the App Store and Google Play. Here's the map as we get through this morning. At mid-morning to late morning, notice the snow in blue up in the mountains, right? Even that, though, kind of gets wiped away. Some of the summits may still maintain some snow to midday. I'll show you how much in a minute. There's some heavier downpours that come into play around midday for us as well in the Boston area, Worcester area, up through Manchester, Portsmouth, and eventually Portland. You're getting into that during the early to mid-afternoon. And then it showers off and on as we get to the course of the afternoon. So this just isn't a great day. We're talking about that raw feeling all day long into the evening. This is not one of those recent events where you blast a warm air in and all of a sudden the warm wind kicks up and you go into the 60s. Not happening this time around. Some showers during the overnight tonight, maybe a downpour on the Cape. And then tomorrow, look at this, showers, downpours mixed in the morning that rumble on through. And then once that goes by, there's a break in the action around midday where you kind of just get a passing shower for the midday and the afternoon. So again, most of the precipitation tomorrow is going to be in the southern half of New England. And a lot of it's probably in the very first part of the day, not so much later on in the day when it's just kind of this scattered stuff. But it warms up. It just doesn't get beyond about the 50s for high temperatures for many. Maybe we squeeze out 60 in a couple of spots tomorrow, and that's about it. Notice the presidentials, the mountains of Maine, the great north woods of New Hampshire, coating to an inch, maybe 1 to 2 when you get into the solid white, and some of the summits end up a little bit more. Same thing in northern Maine, but northern Maine, rather than dealing with it this morning into the midday, you're actually dealing with it tonight into tomorrow morning up at the crown of Maine. There is just a little period of some freezing rain that takes place later today as you make that transition in the mountains. That's the pink that you see here. Again, a lot of this is going to be in the high terrain. Some of it may continue into tonight for the mountains of Maine. High temperatures today squeezing into the 40s, but not going much farther than that. Overnight tonight, we do stay above freezing for most, except for the far north country, so icing not a real big concern for most of us tonight. Tomorrow, expect to find that little squeeze of warmth. Again, it's not a blast of warmth, but you're able to ease the temperatures up into the 50s to around 60 for many of us. And then after that, the colder air comes back. And that's why, look at this, mid-30s, so it's probably not going to stick when it starts to mix with snow overnight, Sunday night, and a Monday morning. But there is the chance that in northern New England, it sticks for a little bit in the first part of Monday, and then eventually your temperatures climb into the 40s. But that's it, a northeast wind, a raw day for us on Monday as well. A reminder, as the seasons are changing, you can grab your swag, right? Swag.1degreeoutside.com. We always really appreciate those of you who do that. That's how it looks for now. This is our last day, I think, on the road, so we'll be back in front of the weather maps for your Sunday evening essentials when we look out at the week ahead. All right, thanks so much for continuing to make 1degreeoutside.com and our 1 Degree Outside app your stop for weather. Have a great weekend. We will see you on Sunday evening.